Welcome to The Explainer. We're all about breaking down big ideas into clear insights you can actually use.
All right, so let's get right into it. Have you ever felt like the game is just rigged against you? You know, whether you're building a business or just trying to move up in your career, you eventually hit a wall, an obstacle that just feels completely immovable. So when you hit that wall, your first instinct is probably to find some clever way around it, right? But what if the best strategy isn't about outsmarting the problem? What if it's about outlasting it? Today, we're going to break down a powerful framework that shows how sheer persistence can become your secret weapon, especially when it feels like the system itself wants you to quit. So, first up, the wall we all hit. To kick things off, we're going to look at a classic story about fighting a totally unfair system. It really gets to the heart of what it takes to win when the odds are stacked against you. So, this old story sets up two characters. You've got a judge who has all the power but couldn't care less about what's right, and then you have a widow. She has zero power, no influence, but she has one thing. She absolutely refuses to give up. Just look at this setup. I mean, the power dynamic is completely lopsided. This is not a fair fight, not even close. The judge has everything, power, authority, and he doesn't care about anyone or anything. The widow? She has nothing, except her belief that she's right. You look at this and you think, there's no way she can win this. And this is the punchline. The judge doesn't have some big change of heart, no way. He caves because she just becomes too much of a problem to ignore. He basically says she just wore him out. She won by outlasting him. Simple as that. Okay, so her success wasn't an accident, right? It was a strategy. And her approach actually gives us a kind of blueprint we can use against our own impossible odds. So let's break down the three keys to this breakthrough. First up, unshakable conviction. You have to be totally convinced you deserve what you're fighting for. That conviction, that's the fuel for step two, relentless persistence. It's why you refuse to take no for an answer. And finally, strategic patience. This isn't just sitting around waiting. It's understanding that the win might not come today, but knowing you're getting closer. You see how they all work together? It's a complete system. All right, so you might be thinking, that's a nice old story, but how does it apply to me, to building a business or a career today? Well, let's talk about overcoming modern opposition, because the answer is, it absolutely applies. See, this isn't just about ancient parables. The same exact principles work against modern systemic barriers. So let's look at a real-world example of someone going up against institutional power, where the unjust judge is a modern system that just keeps saying no. Listen to this. Someone wants to build something big, and the governor, the highest authority in the state, says you can't build here. Boom, that's a wall, right? For most people, that's it. Game over. But the response wasn't, okay, what now? It was, listen, no mortal man can take an inch of that land. That is pure, unshakable conviction. A flat-out refusal to accept no as the final word. And guess what happened? The outcome was exactly the same as with the widow. The system didn't suddenly see the light and become their biggest fan. Nope. It just had to give in because the persistence was relentless. It just proves that this strategy, conviction plus persistence, can break down even huge modern roadblocks. Okay, so now let's talk about that third piece, patience, which, let's be honest, is often the hardest part. We're going to use something called the bamboo principle to explain this, because so often the biggest wins are completely hidden right up until the last second. So what's the Chinese bamboo tree? It's this amazing metaphor for success that only shows up after a long period where it looks like nothing is happening. If you've ever felt like you're putting in all this work and getting zero results, you're going to want to hear this. Okay, check this out. For the first 4 years, you water this thing every single day. And what happens? Almost nothing. It barely grows. You'd be tempted to just give up, right? To think all that effort was for nothing. But here's the secret. For 4 years, all the real work was happening underground. It was building this massive, complex root system that you couldn't even see. Then, in year 5, it explodes, shooting up 90 feet in just 6 weeks. Insane. So think about your own journey. Every single no you get, every setback you face, all those hours you put in with nothing to show for it, that's not wasted effort. You're not just spinning your wheels. You're watering the bamboo. You are building the foundation, the root system that's going to support your breakthrough when it finally comes. So as we wrap up, remember that perseverance isn't just some hopeful virtue. It's a powerful strategy.
The foundation for your breakthrough is being built right now, with every effort, every rejection, and every day you refuse to quit. The real question is, will you keep watering the bamboo long enough to see it shoot for the sky?